Hey guys, my name is Maros, and I am here today on this live stream with the topic of how nice guy pattern creates dysfunctional and transactional relationships. I haven't talked about this topic that much, although the entire problem and the entire topic of the nice guy pattern and people pleasing and overthinking anxiety always ends up revolving around dysfunctional and transactional relationships. So let's have a look how it happens, how it emerges in the first place. Okay, so one thing, probably the most important thing you need to know about the nice guy pattern, especially if you're running it, if you're noticing people-pleasing patterns or this endless overthinking anxiety, the most important thing you should know is that deep down, every person who is running the nice guy pattern or who's a people pleaser, which is the same thing in the end of the day, every person is experiencing a deep fear that something is wrong with them, that there is something about them that cannot be exposed, that cannot be shown to the world, because if it is exposed and if it is shown to the world, the person has a deep, deep problem. Okay? That's why when I'm with someone else and I'm running a nice guy pattern and I'm looking at that person, I cannot be myself. Because if I were myself, if I just let go of this automatic desire to have control, to hold on to the context of the situation, if I let go of that control, something bad would happen, right? The people could see who I really am, and they would reject me. They would disapprove of me. When it comes to dating, what would happen is that the woman would probably tell the person that they are weird simply, or that they are creepy, whatever it is that the person has fear about. Now, this fear as such is highly general and highly impersonal. What does it mean? If you experience as a child over and over and over and over and over again that you must be what your parents want you to be safe, what you learn is that you always have to predict what the other person wants and give it to them, right? That's the essence of people pleasing. That's the essence of constantly trying to figure out what the other person wants and how can I best make sure that I fulfill their dreams, sometimes or most of the times before they even share it with me. And if you have this experience in childhood over and over and over again, and what you will experience, that if you fail to do that, you will be rejected by the parent, right? Or rejected by the environment. You simply have to follow a certain set of rules in order to be okay, in order to be safe. And because everyone is doing the same thing, right? Let's have a look at school or society. If everyone is doing the same thing and everyone is trying to convince you that it's right to do this, then obviously you will develop massive fear that if you stop doing this stuff, you might get into trouble, right? So for nice guys and for people who are running the people-pleasing pattern, this is like this entire behavior is coming from one belief about themselves, and then it's organized in three core beliefs. The one that rules them all is that I'm not okay the way I am. If I go into the world and I just be myself and I just spontaneously express myself the way I feel, it's not acceptable, right? And this belief is ingrained so deeply that most men who are running this cannot even connect what it is that they actually want, what it is that they actually feel, what they would do if they were spontaneous, because their filter that filters out all the unacceptable, inappropriate, and not nice behaviors is so thick that they don't even have access to that. For these men, talking about setting boundaries is impossible because they don't even know where their personal space begins. They don't know when boundaries break happens because they've never experienced that. So for them, it's really important to really understand what's going on and to understand that there is such thing as personal boundary, that they have a right to be respected, and that they have a right to protect it for them. Because when they protect it, when they protect their boundaries, everyone ends up being better off. And yeah, so this is the core belief that everything else starts from. I'm not okay the way I am. Now, if I'm not okay the way I am, I'll be afraid that I'll be exposed, right? If I behave the way I am. Therefore, what I'll have to do is I will have to become what other people want me to become so that I'm safe, right? So instead of expressing myself and being authentic and just, being open to people and saying literally exactly what's on my mind with zero filter, I will have to figure out what they want me to tell them so that I don't get into trouble. And if I've been used to this since very early childhood, and if I've been used to this during my entire life, it's going to be like, it's going to take some effort to change this, right? Because it's a habit. Now, the reason why nice guys have transactional relationships is that in order to survive and in order to get what they want from the world, they learned that they cannot just ask for it. They cannot just say, this is what I want. This is what I'm not willing to tolerate, right? Or when it comes to dating, they're in their minds, they are not allowed to say that the woman is turning them on and they find her beautiful. And they just can't say it like this. They have to create a context. They have to use the right words. They have to be in the right place, in the right time. But all of this stuff is just a justification of fear, of stepping into tension, and facing their deepest fear that something might be not okay with them. Because if they say it, if they are open and honest, and the woman says that she doesn't like them, or she just looks weirdly at them, like this is massive fear of nice guys, that women will look at them as if they were creepy. If she does that, their autopilot is wired to automatically look for mistake, what they did wrong. Well, how did I say it that it was not good enough? And they start beating themselves up, right? So what they do instead is that they will walk around the world and they will analyze the social dynamics, they will analyze the social behaviors, they will analyze people and their psychology, and they will try to figure out the safe way of getting what they want by giving what the other person wants first, right? So if I'm a nice guy and I'm your friend and I want something from you, what I would do is that I will be nice to you first. I will try to give you stuff. I will try to make you happy. I will try to agree with you. I will try to make you feel good. And there's nothing wrong with that. The problem is, am I doing it no strings attached because it feels nice? Or am I doing it because I feel like I have to? Like, if I just disagreed with you, you might be pissed off and I might lose you and I'll be forever alone. Right? This is the end of the deepest fear I talked about in the beginning. That there's something wrong with me. I don't quite know what that is, but I'd rather make sure that I give people what they want so I don't have to face it. Now, by nature, if I keep doing this, what's going to happen is that when I'll be giving and giving and giving, and I do this in a relationship, I'll do this at work, I do this everywhere, over time, I will develop a sense of entitlement, a sense that I deserve to receive back for what I gave out, right? And if I don't, I have a right to be pissed off. And nice guys never say this stuff out loud, right? Like it's happening in their unconscious mind. It's all automated behavior. But when you look at it from this perspective, if I genuinely believe that if I give you what you need, you're supposed to give me what I need, then I have a right to be angry, right? I have a right to be pissed off. I have a right to feel entitled. And when we will have a conversation, I will have a right to blame you for not giving me what I wanted, because look at how much I have given you. And when this happens in a romantic relationships, it's basically the beginning of the end. It's the beginning of the end of the relationship, because then the other person the other person stays confused. So he gives me flowers, or like, let's say he washes the dishes, and he seems like he's doing it because he just wanted to do it. He loves me. But now when I didn't give him what he wanted, he says that he did all this stuff. Well, then fuck him. Then don't do it. Rather, don't do it and say that you're pissed off right there. Because then the person starts to, like the other person that who the nice guy is in relationship with, they start to develop a paranoia that what's going to happen the next time, what's going to be the next thing that he's going to show right in front of my face when we have a conflict. And this is killing the relationship with the spouse. It kills the relationship with the parents. And if you've experienced this as a child, you'll probably have this pattern, have what I talked about, and you'll probably project the same thing on your kids. So if you start telling your kids how much you did for them and how much they're not appreciating it, the kids don't have a choice to leave. The kids cannot say, like, you know what, dude, I had enough. Like, I'm 5, but this is too much. I'm not willing to tolerate the blame, which is, by the way, setting a boundary. But kids can't do that at the age of 5. So what they have to do, they have to go back to their room and they have to think really, really hard to figure out what they did wrong, that they are experiencing this. And this, my friends, is one of the ways how nice guys emerge in the first place. That if you experience these things over and over and over again as a child, you don't have understanding. You don't understand why the hell these people are behaving the way they do. Whether it's your, I don't know, like religious primary school, or if it's your environment, if it's your parents, if it's your culture. There are cultures, like entire country cultures, that are ingraining the nice people pleasing patterns into its society. So if you've been exposed to this over and over and over again, it's really, really deeply in your unconscious mind. So what I'm saying then might sound like, of course it's like that. How else would it be? Like of course it's like that. I'm supposed to be nice to other people because that's the way things simply are. And they are supposed to be nice to me. But it's not like that. It's not like that. And you will know it the moment you step into corporation, the moment you step into business, the moment you step into social dynamics and social life and real life. It's not the people who are the nicest who have the best results. It's the people who have a different attribute. And the attribute is the ability to handle and enjoy emotional tension. And for nice guys, this is completely beyond understanding, because nice guys believe that the key to success is to learning to understand the world and the environment, the surroundings so well that I will be able to avoid emotional tension completely, do everything right, and have a safe and problem-free life. When nice guy who doesn't know any of this stuff sees a person who is confident, what they're saying to themselves is that, man, he's really, really good. He's really, really good. And what they see is that he does everything right. But the reality is that when that person, that naturally and genuinely, authentically confident man is the way it is, he doesn't care. The thing is, he steps into the tension and he handles it, and he even enjoys it. This is the flirt, right? Like when you give a compliment to a girl and she did not accept it fully, but she did not reject it either. And there's this feeling of uncertainty of what's going to happen next. And she's enjoying the sexual attention when you give her a compliment on her lips or something, or something that has like a little sexual tone. And if I feel the sexual tension and she feels the sexual tension and I'm comfortable with it and she's comfortable with it, now we can have this conversation, this random improvisation under sexual tension, which is flirt, right? If I do the same thing, not the same thing with a man, meaning that I don't take it sexual, but I just poke into the person like, oh, dude, like what about that sweatshirt? Did you buy it, or did you take it from a homeless guy outside? Or you make jokes from someone, but you handle the tension and you enjoy the tension. The person, it's like it's invitation to play. If the other person does the same and he starts, yeah, I took it from a homeless guy. He was chasing me 2 blocks down the street. Why? Do you like it? Do you want me to give it to you? Or do you want to buy it? Right? And then there's this conversation about nothing, and it's fun. It's enjoyable, it's fun, and this is banter among men. And women love that, men love that, Other people love people love other people who are capable of doing this. You can see it in the movies, in the action movies. The action heroes always handle the most emotional tension of everyone. That's why they're action heroes. That's why other people are looking up to them, right? So this is really it, guys. It's really about the ability to handle and enjoy emotional tension. Once you have this skill, all you need to do is just to keep expanding the skill for the rest of your life. There are strategies and techniques to use that will allow you to grow your attention skill, grow your attention skills massively. The one I use the most is emotional releasing technique, and it's a miracle for me. It's a miracle for all my clients who do that, who have amazing results. So I highly recommend it. Now, one more thing when it comes to dysfunctional and transactional relationships. If in the long term, if I live in a transactional relationships believing that I am entitled to receive, what's going to happen is that there will be resentment. Because if I am in a relationship and I believe that I am entitled to receive because of what I gave to the relationship, and I'm not receiving anything in return, the other person will very likely feel the same. Because even if you don't communicate this with words and if you don't communicate it consciously, through your feeling, your partner will pick up on what you're experiencing and how you feel about the thing, how you feel about the communication. What's going to happen is resentment, because it's a natural, like from the belief of I have to be nice in order to feel safe, I have to give in order to receive. It's a natural reaction. If I give and I don't receive, resentment is natural reaction. And what happens very often is that these guys then they believe that it's not in them, right? They believe it's just that just wasn't the right girl. That's just she was weird, or that was the wrong business partner, that was the wrong company, that was wrong, whatever. They're gonna keep saying it's because of the stuff that is in the outside world that I do not have the results, and I'm experiencing this pain, and they will change the partner, they will change the company, only to go through the same shit all over again. And what happens is that when they have kids, they can't change kids, right? You can't return kid back to vagina. Sorry, dude, I don't think it's gonna work between the two of us and get a new one. You have to have the kid. And because of this is gonna be massive frustration in life. Because the kid will have to deal with it, and it's gonna develop dysfunctional behaviors the same way like its parent in its own childhood, because it has never really taken care of the emotional trauma and the emotions that are underlying all of this. So I have talked way longer than I wanted to talk, but this stuff is really important, so I wanted to make sure that everything is covered. Now, if you have found yourself in what I was talking about, and you want to get out of this pattern, get out of the nice guy pattern, if you want to heal your fear that something is not okay with you the way you are, then I highly recommend you to go to buymaros.com/book now and book a free session with me where we will have a look at your particular situation. What these sessions are really about is looking at where you're at, what's not working in your life currently, looking where you would like to be, where you would want to be, what is the results that you're after in your business, in your dating life, and in your relationships with women in general. And I'm going to help you to create a step-by-step game plan that will be the fastest way to get you there. Okay, the session is free. And the reason why I'm doing it, because you might need my help with actually taking practical steps, and you might need my guidance in doing the shift. If that's the case, we might end up working together. If not, it's perfectly fine. So if you found yourself in what I was describing, what I was talking about, and you do want to move on, then go to buymaros.com/book now and book the session now. Once you go to the website, you will go to a very short, you're going to go to a page where you can pick a date and time that works for you the best. And after that, there's a short registration form where you just fill a couple of information so I can prepare for our session as well. And after that, it's just you and me and the session that I have just promised to you. So if that's you, go to buymaros.com/book now and book the session today. And hopefully I will speak to you soon.